What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today. And in this video we are Des Moines International Airport for the 66th airport update for the month of May 2026. We have a huge shakeup to the Des Moines International Airport as construction continues with the new terminal. The airport has gone ahead and renumbered all of their existing and operational gates. They have moved away from the Concourse A and Concourse C model, which they've had for many, many years, and ever since I started doing this series, to now just a double-digit numbering system, at least for the current terminal. So instead of it being what we currently have with the construction with gates A1 through A5 and then C1 through up to about C5 or C6, as a couple of the gates were closed for the construction of the new terminal, they have now moved to gate numbers 14 through 26. And I've gone ahead and established this map, which I'll put on your screen, of all the gate numbers and where they're located based on data that I have from Flight Radar, where the aircraft park at, and then just corresponding that to where the gates used to be. So this info may not be entirely accurate, so if you have more knowledge on this, especially for any Des Moines locals that are watching this and know more about where exactly all the gate numbers are at the Des Moines International Airport, please leave a comment below and I will make adjustments for next month's update based on that information. So that is what we have going on right now as they continue to make progress on the construction. That is the major update that I have with that before we even take a look at a single aircraft. So what that means is, just to keep it all in numerical order, I'll be starting airport updates on the other end of the setup instead of down at what used to be the A gates. So that will be a major shakeup as we move forward. And we'll go ahead and do that right now as we swing on down to the American section down at gate 15 with this A319 coming in from Charlotte. This arrived in as flight 3020 at 8:35 p.m., a whopping 40 minutes early. Must have caught a tailwind on the way here. And then next to that, American Eagle. Kind of funny that this is the exact same aircraft that was in last month's update, same registration, flight number, and everything. American Eagle Embraer 175 from Los Angeles, arriving in as flight 5011, operated by SkyWest at 5:52 p.m., 33 minutes early. And then right next to that at gate 17, we have this Delta Connection CRJ 900, which arrived in from New York LaGuardia, significantly delayed. Flight 4904, operated by Endeavor Air, arrived in at 12:30 a.m. in the morning, and the delay was just under 5 hours. So, ouch. And I know New York has been getting some pretty bad storms recently. In fact, yesterday, the day before this video goes out, they had and then even the day before too, they've had some pretty big storms. And then LaGuardia itself, they had a sinkhole reported near one of the runways, so they had to close that runway and leave LaGuardia with just one operating runway. And as you know, with LaGuardia, it gets very congested there, and when one runway closes, that usually means flights get delayed and or canceled. And you know, as much as the terminal has been vastly improved, they really don't have the space to add new runways to offload that congestion and give them some more breathing room in case one runway does go out of operation or out of service based on stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of unique, a sinkhole at LaGuardia. I didn't think that would be something that I would have seen on the news, but hey, that happened. And the next to that, at gate 18, we have the Delta 717, which came in from Atlanta as flight 1704 at 10:42 a.m., 26 minutes early. Always love featuring the Mad Pup. And then our last aircraft for the Delta section, what used to be the C gates, but now just gates 14 through 19. We have this Delta CRJ 700. So it's been kind of nice seeing the CRJ 700s making a resurgence across the Delta network. I've seen them now basically every airport. I'm just waiting to see if Sioux Falls will get them here. In fact, I can check our schedule real quick, but I don't think I've seen them quite yet. Maybe once before. I may have seen it on one of the MSP flights. Alright, not quite yet based on the last 24 hours or so. Flight Radar made a change where you can't view flights before or after a 24-hour window from the current time, which I think is annoying, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. The CRJ 700 arrived in from Detroit as flight 5087, another Endeavor service, and this was also delayed by 4 hours, arriving in at 12:39 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah, quite a few delays. And all these gates are empty since I wasn't able to find a whole lot of flights that worked, and especially since I'm navigating the new gate numbering system as I was figuring that out and just getting some aircraft placed so I know, where they roughly go. And again, if you guys have any feedback on the gate numbering that I have from the map that I showed at the start of the video, please leave it down in the comments and I will gladly make adjustments for the June update once I have that information. Next up is Southwest at Gate 26, the old Gate Alpha 5. This MAX 8 arrived in from Denver as Flight 2404 at 9:04 p.m., 11 minutes early. And if you're paying attention to that registration, this is, at least for me, the first time that I've seen a 9000 series registration for Southwest MAX 8s. And I figured that it was coming because all the numbers, they were creeping up, 89, 80, 89, 90, and so on. And now they finally just surpassed the 10,000 mark. I don't know if November 9003 Bravo is the first MAX 8 for Southwest with the 9000 series that's been delivered to them, but I'm guessing there will likely be a couple more that will pop into service here over the coming weeks and months. And then our last aircraft for this update are United mainline stuff. We have the A320 in on a Chicago service. Both the main lines are Chicago in this update. This A320 arrived in as Flight 723 at 10:24 a.m., 13 minutes early. And then our last aircraft, I'll just give you the tail shot of this A319, which also came in from the Windy City as Flight 1830 at 2:10 p.m., 14 minutes early. So that's all the aircraft that we have at the terminal this month for the Des Moines International Airport. Very interesting to see the new gate numbering, but it makes a lot more sense since they will be moving to that new terminal here pretty soon, opening next year. So some of the numbers will carry over onto that new terminal once that opens. Start off with our Minneapolis route for next month. All CRJs, I'm seeing more 700s on that, which is nice. And then onward to Chicago for O'Hare. A good mix of the Embraers and CRJs for American, and then United will have more A319s on the main line through May and June. And then Chicago Midway, that service will be about 1 to 2 daily. Again, this thing likes to say that there will be 757s on that route, which is obviously not accurate because Southwest has never and will never operate that type. At least I say that now, but then they could easily throw a curveball at us and get something unique for the fleet. But onward to Detroit, I'm seeing more of the same as MSP with the CRJ 7 and 900. All the way over to Boston, Sunday, Thursday on Allegiant, the E320 on that service. And then LaGuardia, American keeping the 6 weekly still, Embraer 175 there, no changes. And then Delta also daily with the CRJ 900. Newark, that will end in August for Allegiant, Monday, Friday frequency with the A320. And then Philadelphia, which just came back for the summer season, Allegiant will have that Sunday, Thursday. So Allegiant, that's brand new for them. That'll be Sunday, Thursday, and then American will do 2 daily, one Embraer 175 and then a CRJ 900. Over to Washington, Reagan, 2 daily CRJs, mix of the 900s and then some 700s later into June. All the way down to Charlotte, A320s on the main line, so they'll go back up to a slightly larger aircraft, and it'll be twice daily. And then our mixture of Florida services. So Jacksonville, that restarts June 4th, that will run Sunday, Thursday. Orlando Sanford is 4 weekly, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Fort Lauderdale is 2 weekly, that'll end in August, and then Miami continuing through May and June. It's a little bit sporadic as you head into June. It ends June 4th and moves to Saturday only from that point on. And then Fort Myers, that service has been discontinued for the season. Upward to Punta Gorda, that is 3 weekly through the early part of the week. Sarasota, Saturday only heading into June. And then St. Petersburg, 4 weekly with a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday frequency. And then Destin, as that is back up and running, that will be Wednesday, Saturday. Gulf Shores, a bit of a unique service. Allegiant's doing that twice weekly, Monday, Friday. And then up to Nashville, they will do that 4 to about 5 weekly heading into the summer. Atlanta, no major changes, all 717 still. Houston Hobby, that will restart June 5th for Allegiant, running Monday, Friday. It will run until August. And then Houston Intercontinental, A319 still on the main line with a 175 as a complimentary second service. Austin Sunday, Thursday, and then DFW on American A319s. A lot of main lines on that service, only one regional jet frequency. Over to Phoenix Monday, Wednesday, Friday for that service, and then American from Sky Harbor, 2 daily mainline, and Southwest wrapping up the Phoenix Sky Harbor service on June 1st, it looks like. Santa Ana, Orange County for Allegiant will be Sunday, Thursday, and Saturday, so a little bit sporadic. And then Los Angeles, that service active as the daily 175. And then Burbank, up on the schedule now, which is nice. Monday, Friday is the frequency. Las Vegas is 5 weekly, only being excluded for Tuesday and Saturday. And then Southwest, obviously continuing that daily service there. No major changes. Salt Lake City, a one-off from both American and Delta on Sunday, September 27th, both on the Embraer 175s. And then Portland from Allegiant, that will be Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday on the A320. Oh yeah, I can't forget Denver too, and that's also mixed in there. Frontier will run at three weekly during the work week. Southwest 2 daily. I see some maxes on there, and then United, a good handful of frequencies, about 4 to 5 daily, with about 2 mainline services on there. Great setup for Des Moines this month. An interesting change with the gate renumbering, or the Great Gate Renumbering, as I have titled it for this update. So that will be very interesting to cover as we move forward. And like I said, I'll make adjustments still. If there's anything that I missed with the new gate numbering, please leave a comment below, and I will make those adjustments for next month. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.